You are on Marszałkowska Street. It is 0640. The eastern sky is the wrong color. Not dawn. Smoke. You do not know it yet. But the Suwałki Corridor closed 6 hours ago. Russian mechanized elements are 18 kilometers from the Vistula. U.S. reinforcement units are pushing northeast to contest. Warsaw is no longer a rear area. It is a target. Then you hear it. Not artillery, not thunder. Flatter, more industrial. A sequence of hollow, heavy detonations from the east. 18 of them. Faster than you can count. They stop. 3 seconds of silence. Then the smell reaches you. Faint, sweet, almost medicinal, like ether, like industrial solvent left open in a warm room. Stop. Do not take another breath through your nose. That smell is ethylene oxide aerosol. The first 18 rockets have already dispensed the gas cloud. It is already in the stairwells, already pooling in the metro entrances, already drifting through the ventilation gaps of every building on this block. You have approximately 8 seconds before the second charge fires and ignites it. Your brain is going to tell you to run. Your legs are going to try. That impulse will kill you. What saves you is the next 90 seconds of cold, errorless decision-making. Nothing else. Here is the trajectory that brought this weapon to your street. 65 kilometers. That is the Suwałki Corridor, a strip of NATO territory between Kaliningrad to the west and Belarus to the east. It is the only land route connecting Poland to the Baltic states. Russia closes it from both flanks simultaneously. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, severed. Article 5 becomes a political conversation instead of a military trigger. NATO wargamed this scenario dozens of times. The conclusion never changed. The corridor closes in hours, not days. Iskander batteries in Kaliningrad suppress air movement first. Belarusian mechanized forces push from the east. U.S. forward presence units in Poland move to contest. Warsaw absorbs the rear area command functions. Then it absorbs the fire. When Russian NBC protection troops reach urban terrain, they do not reach for conventional artillery. They reach for the TOS-2, because this weapon was built for exactly what Warsaw looks like. Concrete blocks, enclosed stairwells, underground shelters, civilians certain that a thick wall is survival. The TOS-2 was designed to enter every one of those spaces, then to remove the oxygen from them. Russia already tested this doctrine. In Grozny, in Syria, in Ukraine, every city where the population sheltered in place and trusted the architecture failed them. Every time. The TOS-2, 18 220mm launch tubes on a wheeled Ural chassis, automated fire control, laser rangefinder, satellite navigation. It positions on unprepared ground. It fires all 18 rockets in under 6 seconds. It displaces before your counter-battery radar finishes processing the launch signature. It carries its own reload crane. No support vehicle, no tether, it operates alone, and it moves fast. The warhead carries no shrapnel, there is no fragmentation radius, no safe distance outside a blast cone. The warhead aerosolizes a fuel-air explosive compound under pressure, ethylene oxide, atomized into a fine mist. The cloud enters every gap it finds, open windows, ventilation intakes, the gap under your door, the stairwell shaft. It has no color. At kill concentrations, it has that faint, sweet ether smell. When you smell it, the gas is already in your lungs. Then the second charge fires. 3,000 degrees Celsius at the ignition core, 400 pounds per square inch of overpressure, omnidirectional. That is what kills you, and you cannot armor against it. I have heard soldiers say their level 4 ceramic plates will protect them. Let me be precise about why they are wrong. Ceramic plates stop bullets. They stop fragments. They were not engineered for overpressure dynamics. The pressure wave is omnidirectional. It wraps around your armor. It enters through your neck, your armpits, your groin, your back, every gap simultaneously. The ceramic plate at your chest then becomes the problem. It becomes a rigid backstop. The wave compresses your thoracic cavity against it while hitting every other surface of your body from every other angle at the same time. Your rib cage becomes a vise. Your lungs are air-filled tissue at a massive pressure differential interface. They do not fail. They tear internally. No exit wound, no blood on the floor, just a soldier who looks intact and is not breathing. I reviewed battle damage assessment footage from Mosul in 2017. Iraqi Army TOS-1A strike on an ISIS-held residential block. The soldiers who cleared the building afterward described it the same way every time. Bodies in defensive positions, no visible trauma, no blood. The air had simply been removed from the equation. I looked at those images for a long time. I have not stopped looking at them. The oxygen depletion mechanism runs in parallel with the pressure kill. The oxidation reaction consumes available atmospheric oxygen across the entire strike envelope. If the pressure leaves you alive, asphyxiation begins immediately. You are breathing. The air no longer supports respiration. You are breathing yourself to death. Now, the Patriot battery 50 kilometers to the northwest, the AN MPQ-65 radar, the MIM-104 interceptor. Forget it. TOS-2 rockets are short-range, low-altitude, unguided. Their entire flight profile exists below the Patriot's minimum engagement altitude. They cross the radar's terrain masking threshold in seconds. The engagement window does not exist. The operators are not incompetent. The physics does not allow an intercept. That is the math. There is no negotiating with it. The gas is heavier than air. It descends. It pools at the lowest point it can reach. Basements fill first. Warsaw's metro, Centrum Station, Świętokrzyska platform becomes a gas trap within minutes of a strike in the surrounding blocks. The crowd running toward the metro entrance is running toward the highest gas concentration in the city. Do not follow them. Go up. Second floor. 1 floor above grade. Not higher. The overpressure wave travels through the foundation. Prone on a ground floor surface, the shock transmits through the concrete directly into your sternum. Second floor breaks that transfer path. Higher than second floor, you enter the glass curtain wall zones of the modern commercial towers. I reviewed satellite imagery of thermobaric overpressure impact on glass-faced residential blocks in Aleppo, 2016. Every window on the facing side detonated inward simultaneously. Not broken, detonated. The glass became a horizontal fragmentation event directed at everything breathing inside the floor. Do not be inside a glass tower when that wave arrives. Find a concrete interior wall. Stairwell landing. Plumbing chase. Warsaw's Soviet-era Wielka Płyta blocks have cast concrete load-bearing interior panels. Get behind one. Seal the door gap with whatever fabric you can reach. Keep your mouth open. Clenched jaw concentrates the pressure differential at your inner ear and orbital structures. Do not press your chest against the floor. Do not move for 10 minutes after the last detonation. When you move, you need a mask first. Full-face CBRN respirator with 100 combination filter. Without it, residual aerosol vapor and combustion byproducts will chemically burn your pulmonary lining. You will feel functional for 20 minutes, then you will not. If you have no mask, wet cloth over your nose and mouth buys partial filtration, not a solution, buys movement time, move fast. Minimize exposure duration, step into the street, 3 assessments, in sequence, do not skip any. First, wind direction, feel the air on your face, move against it. The aerosol cloud drifts downwind, you move upwind, you move west. Second, building integrity. Look at the facade of the structure you sheltered in. Spalling concrete, cracked load-bearing panels. If the structure is compromised, clear it immediately. Delayed secondary collapse will bury you. Third, crowd movement. Civilians will be moving toward metro entrances and underground shelters. That is the wrong direction. Note it. Go the other way. Navigate by the Western Rail Corridor. Warszawa Centralna to Warszawa Zachodnia. That axis runs east to west across the city. No GPS required. The rail embankment is a physical structure. It does not depend on a cell network or a working screen. Follow the tracks west. Do not use Marszałkowska or any major boulevard. Wide arterial corridors are shockwave channels. Secondary glass detonations from structurally compromised towers will still be occurring. Stay in the side streets. Warsaw's Wielka Płyta residential blocks offer hard cover. Concrete facades. Lower glass density. Use them. The U.S. Embassy is at Aleje Ujazdowski 29, roughly 2 kilometers south of Centralna. That number belongs in your head before you need it. When the grid is dead, your phone is dead, and the street signs are under debris, you navigate by block count and compass heading. South from the rail line, 2 kilometers, black iron perimeter fence, guard post. It will be staffed. Do not stop for people lying on the ground who show no visible injuries. I know how that sounds. But a thermobaric victim with no external trauma is already dead. The pressure tore the interior. There is nothing you can do. Stopping wastes the time you need to stay alive. Keep moving. The missile does not care what flag you carry. It cares about coordinates. The only variable it cannot control is where you are standing when it arrives. Now you know where not to stand.